Hello, second interview of the day. I'm here with Théis Bazin from the music team, and I'm going to have a small chat with him. So, good morning, and thank you for being here. And can you just say something about yourself, like present yourself and tell your interest in the lab?
Yes. Hi. Okay. Thanks. So yes, I'm Théis. I've been working at CSL in Paris for the last 3 years, I'd say, and I'm actually currently doing a PhD in between CSL and IRCAM, another French institution in Paris. And my interest as part of the PhD is, as the rest of the team, interactive machine learning for music. But more specifically, in my case, I have been working on a prototype, NOTONO, that you can see here, which is a new kind of synthesizer. It's a new approach to sound synthesis based in a visual paradigm. And so you will generate sounds as you would paint. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So actually, I've been reading something about NOTONO before this interview, and I was really surprised by this kind of metaphor between music and painting. And so I'm used to think at NOTONO as the metaphorical project. So can you explain something about this?
So actually, this thing of blending vision and sound is not new. I mean, we have synesthesia. It's just there is a term for that. And already in the 20th century, a researcher called and composer called Yanis Xenakis worked on that. So he created this interface where you can really draw sounds, and it was the very beginnings of computer music. And here we have. Thanks to artificial intelligence, new ways of creating representations of sounds. And that's what I find really interesting about artificial intelligence. It's this new kind of entrance it gives us into sounds. And here for NOTONO, what I think is nice and what I try to focus on is really having this metaphor and make it as intuitive as possible. And I think can.
And so, what do we use it? Can you give a demonstration? Okay.
So to use NOTONO, first I'll explain what we see. So here we have a visual representation of a sound where we have frequencies on this axis and time on this axis. So here we have a 4 seconds song, 4 seconds long sound, and you can see high frequencies here and low frequencies there. Maybe I start by loading in sound that I can that I choose here. So I take it. Wait. Yup. Load it into the interface. So that's it. I have a starting sound. You can see here I took a very basic stereotypical oboe or bassoon sound. It's a bit high, and we have a little bit of mid frequencies, a little bit of high frequencies, but very little low frequencies. And maybe I'm in the studio creating music and I want to transform this sound. What I can do is I'm gonna select some constraints, so to tell the model what I want to do, and I'm gonna paint with the model. Here, the interesting thing and the fun thing for NOTONO is that you don't paint with colors, you paint with instruments. And so here I selected an organ as an instrument because they tend to have a deep and full sound. And now, since I want to add lower frequencies, low frequencies, I'll select an octave and I put the octave 2, so which is really the low end of the keyboard. And then transformation is just as easy as selecting the zone here, which says, okay, I want to keep all of this, so all of the higher frequencies, but just I want to regenerate the bottom frequencies. And so here is the sound that I currently have. And if I launch the regeneration, then immediately it transforms the sound. And the nice thing is, if I'm not happy with the result, and that's also one of the fun aspects about machine learning, is I can ask the model again for the very same zone, and it will give me yet another proposition. And then starting from that, with this very local approach to transformation, rather than just pressing one button and you get a sound, we have here a way of progressively sculpting the sound. And then maybe I can say, okay, I'm happy with the lower end. And then now I'm gonna move up to maybe editing the higher frequencies. And so for that, I can select another constraint. So for instance, synthesizer like sounds. And then I select a higher octave, let's say 5. And then I will go here and select higher frequencies. Now I have that. Changed. I can do it again. And every time the sound progressively shifts, and at the end of the process, the musician is happy about the sound. And they really, I think, the fact that it's so iterative makes them feel like they really created the sound, and it's not just a model that went, okay, take that, and now you're happy with it or you're not, but you're done.
Thank you for this demonstration. It was really impressive to me. And you already said something about it, but what do you think the approach, the musician approach, should be to this instrument?
Okay, so there are two things. You can either just take it and, for instance, if I click here, wait, I'm going to select another type of instrument. If I click here, it's going to give me a new sound. And then every time you click, it draws a new sound, and it gives you a starting point. And then you can transform it. And once you're happy with it, you have your sound. Or you can load any sound of your choice into the model, and you can then, starting from that sound of your choice, transform it. And on another aspect that I think is, I mean, it's trivial in terms of music production software, but I really felt like it was important to integrate it within this research prototype. We have support for MIDI connection, which just means that we can connect it very easily with other music production software. And so, for instance, here I have this sound, and I can very easily load take Ableton, and we have here some piano performance that we have generated with Gaëtan's PIA that we will talk about.
Yeah, we will talk later.
And now I can use those performances to play back the sound that we created. And so I can still edit it as it's playing. So now this is playing here, and I can say, okay, maybe I will transform the low frequencies again. Okay, you got it. Maybe go up and add some higher frequencies. So it's a prototype, but still I wanted it to be directly and readily usable by musicians. And
Thank you. So from one side we have, let's say, like a source of inspiration, and from the other we have like exploration and creativity and expansion of creativity. This is this is what we call interaction, right? Yeah. So, and do you can you think about other application of NOTONO? I mean, it is just for musicians, or do you can see other development?
yeah, sure. So for me, and that's I think one of the most interesting aspects for this project for me, is that I was trying to find the balance between having it professional oriented, so it's flexible, it's powerful enough that actual real musicians can use it in their creation process, but I tried to make it also as intuitive and easy to use as possible, so that even a child, I hope, could use it. I mean, you just don't need any specific knowledge about sound design to use it. You just go and you explore a little bit, and then you select some constraints. And I hope, and that's something I will try and work on for the next month, to try and collaborate with maybe music school for very young children. We have in France something called Éveil Musical, which is aimed at children from like 5 or to 6 years old. And it's just a very initial approach to music, which just gives them a taste of what playing or studying music can be like. And I hope NOTONO could be another tool in that set, in their set, to give maybe inspire children to start to play and study music.
So I just have one more question, and what is the place music has in your life? I mean, as a yeah, difficult question, but as a not just as a researcher, but
Yeah, so I mean, I'm obsessed with music. I listen to it all the time. I'm obsessed with live performances. I love all kinds of music. I mean, be it jazz, classical, electronic music. I'm really into it, and I think it's crucial for me to have this broad interest in music. And also, I mean, I produce music myself. Lately, I've not had so much time to do it, but when I was like a teenager, I spent all my time on FL Studio, on DAWs, making music, and it really nourishes my work as a researcher because all of those small things, like what other people would deem small details, like including the MIDI, including a way to simply, like, for instance, if I'm happy with a sound here that I've produced, I can just easily take it and import it into the other software that I'm using, into Ableton. So it's all of the small things that when I'm building this tool, I'm thinking, how would I use it in my own production process? And actually, the nice thing is, we get very nice signals back from the musicians who use them, because they say, yeah, it just works. I can. It's not. They tell us that they've been using tools by other companies, and it's sometimes like, I have to do this and that, and it crashes. And here it's just like, oh yeah, thank God. Maybe the sounds are not mesmerizing yet, but still, I mean, it's so nice that it just works and it's easy to use and ready to use.
so passion is the trigger, let's say. Okay, so thank you, Thais. I was very happy to talk with you today. It was very nice to see the demonstration, and actually, I like this project very much. It was one of my favorites when I was studying for the interviews. So thank you a lot. Yes, so we will see in a while for the last interview of the morning. Bye.